welcome to the Mothership. My name is Kid, and I'd like to welcome you officially to the first episode of a new segment I have on this channel called What's on Our Radar. Basically, I'm going to be... basically, this is going very well.
It's going amazing. You're doing great. I love it. No. The energy's good. I love it so much.
Lovely. Well, that comforting voice that you hear in the background is my first co-host, commentator? I don't know what the appropriate title would be.
Yeah, guest.
Guest is perfect. My first guest on this new segment is Godfrey Kaptigau. Hi, Godfrey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really so excited to be here. I've been to be honest, I've been waiting for this for a very long time. I don't know why it took so long, but I'm happy. Really happy to be here.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'll stop interrupting.
No worries. Godfrey is very accomplished. He is an actor. We've done productions together. You've been the lead in almost every production that I've seen at the Mat. He's very talented. You're also a producer. You make a lot of videos and a lot of video content. And his YouTube channel is The Anxious Coconut. I will link it in the description. Please go check it out. Subscribe. He's also one half of the fantastic duo that host the Not Culture podcast. Yes. It's a podcast about everything except culture.
Yes. Very true. Very exactly. That's the entire shtick of the podcast. And I thank you for giving me that little.
Oh, of course.
I'd like to just say that everything that Karen said, 100% true. That's
true.
my background.
It is true.
That's where I come from. So it's very accurate.
I was going to say, Godfrey here, if you haven't seen my first Dune reaction, I talked about how Godfrey is the person who got me into Dune.
I did see it, and I was like, what? No, you didn't have to mention it.
It's true. Godfrey, you are a longtime fan of Dune. And it's
quite a long time, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested to see what you have to say, especially because in the next couple of weeks, we're finally going to get to see it.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Oof. Straight out of the bag, I am quite anxious, as I am about a great deal, many things in my life.
Damn!
But when it comes to this, a live action cinematic adaptation of one of my all-time favorite books. I practically grew up with it by one of my all-time favorite, I guess, new age directors.
Right.
I've been following Villeneuve's work ever since Prisoners with Hugh Jackman. I thought that was such an amazing movie.
Great movie.
Oh my God. And like every movie that he's released after has sort of like done interesting and different things. I think my favorite one so far, it's like, not counting Dune, obviously. I count that, but obviously I haven't seen that. No one say that. But obviously my favorite one has Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely knocked my damn socks off. To me, that was a really good example of a movie where it's a sequel that I absolutely loved way more than the first one. I understand that the first one is a cult classic. I know a lot of people have opinions on this, but I think the second one, to me, it has a more, I don't want to say believable or likable antagonist, but I find myself rooting for him a lot more. I do appreciate that there's a lot more time spent out in fleshing out this world, the Blade Runner world. I guess it also helps that before the movie was released, there were 3 shorts that kind of helped you prepare for getting back into this world, which is kind of a cheat when you think about it, but I did really enjoy just the world and the world building a lot in 2049 than the first one. I understand that the first one had this entire noir aesthetic. It was a thing of its own, and I do appreciate that so much, but 2049 kind of took that and ran with this new sort of angle where it flipped the switch, where it told you that the protagonist that you're following is an actual replicant, whereas in the first one, one of the biggest arguments about the entire movie is whether or not Deckard is a replicant.
Right.
I do like the fact that, I mean, spoilers for 2049, by the end of the film, it's kind of, well, not really by the end of it. During the middle, it's kind of, you start asking the question in reverse whether this character is human or replicant. I mean, so it technically would be the same question, but I like how that was flipped. And obviously, hands down, the movie looks fucking beautiful. It's stunning. Like, I've seen people make posters about, like, artwork about frames in this movie. Obviously, there's the big one with Joy and Kay on the bridge when it was raining. It's just, oh god. Okay, now I want to watch that movie again, but
I guess the point that I'm trying to make is there's just a lot of things aligning for me personally about this movie, Dune, that it almost seems like one of those things where I'm scared to get too invested.
because if I am, and it doesn't live up to these expectations that I've practically spent the last 15 or so years building up in my head, I could be shattered and I could be let down. Um, but I do have a lot of faith in the cast. I do have a lot of faith in the director. And I am excited, but really, really nervous. And I will be there day one to see this movie, and possibly for every day for the next week or so, just so I could get it in my head. But I guess the biggest thing that I'm scared of, like, I think diving into it, one of the biggest aspects I'm afraid of is where they decide to end this part one. Because we all know that Villeneuve is taking the first book and is splitting it into two movies.
I just want to know where he's deciding to split or to end the first movie off of. I mean, if you've read the book, you understand that, I guess, 2/3 of the way in, or like more than 2/3, right? There's that part where it seems like the right quote unquote time for Villeneuve to end part
Right.
one and just spend the next movie exploring the tail end of the book and
Yeah.
what the characters do then. But I don't know if
I'm just scared that he doesn't do that right, which seems like a disservice to say about the director because I also trust him a lot. So, again, there's just a lot of conflict in my head. I'm scared. I'm also really excited. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see it, and I'm gonna have opinions about it, whether I like it or not.
Do you follow the Dune Reddit page?
not on Reddit.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it seems like a stupid thing not to. I
No,
should,
no.
of
Like,
course. Oh, it seems like I think I should do it because I've been a fan even before Reddit, so it just
yeah,
didn't
no,
seem like
fair.
a thing that I could. Like I have all these Twitter and
Yes.
Pinterest boards that I follow
Yes,
for
yes.
Dune. It never crossed my mind that there was an actual Dune Reddit. But sorry, I'm
Oh,
tangenting.
no,
Continue.
that's okay. So, I think people have been posting sort of, articles from like reviews, early critics who have gone to see.
I've seen bits.
Okay.
I've seen bits on Instagram. You know, like when you're scrolling.
Oh
on someone,
yeah, true.
IGN puts score, Metacritic puts their score, Rotten Tomatoes does
Exactly,
that thing,
exactly.
God. But yeah.
Yeah, so I've been trying not to look at those, and for the most part, Reddit's good. Like they usually have like a spoiler alert on the top. But I did end up seeing something that it wasn't much of a spoiler. It was just
No.
See, this is the thing. I don't know whether I should. I don't think
That's
it's.
the
I don't
thing,
think
right?
it's a spoiler. It's
I don't know,
just.
because I read the book already. You know what happens, but I guess
Yeah,
the spoiler will be the execution in the movie. How
the
they decide
movie
to do that.
experience. For the most part, like very good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've seen the same. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying that it's it is Dune. It's a true replication of the source material. So that's a good thing.
That's definitely
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about whether new viewers who have no background knowledge or who haven't seen the supplementary material, whether
Right.
they will pick up on the nuances of the book in this film. Because I would
yeah.
understand how hard that is to translate from a book to a film,
Incredibly so.
Like, I think there's going to be a lot of payoff for the fans. I think going in from day one, because Villeneuve himself is a really big fan of Dune, it's no surprise that the fans are going to get the biggest payoff. But just I guess the biggest problem with new audiences and getting them to be invested is that if they don't, it becomes another commercial failure, even though it's a critical success, which it looks like it's going to be. If not enough people go watch it, then you can kiss the sequel goodbye. And that's the danger of it too, because if this one doesn't get enough, if this one doesn't get enough eyes, if it doesn't make enough money, we're not gonna get the second one. And that's heartbreaking because this was designed by Villeneuve to be split into two. And if we don't get that second movie, then all of the build up for the first movie is just going to be for nothing, and it's just going to be tragic. And I'm going to throw a very small riots
in my house here, and no one will give a shit. Like, it's that is also one of my biggest fears.
I can't believe it's been a year since we posted our reactions, for the first trailer.
It's, oh my god, I can't believe it. And as soon as they released it, like a couple of weeks later, it's announced that it's been postponed a year.
Right.
Practically, like literally a year. And now we're here.
Seriously.
We've made it through. I guess only time will, it's definitely coming out. There's only, 23 more days, 22 more days until it's here. For us, we get it at the end of September. Yeah. When do we get it?
Are you serious?
We get it on the 30th of September.
How? Oh my god!
I checked on Paradise Cinemas. They said that they put out a Facebook post and everything. It's like the new sci-fi episode is releasing here on the 30th of September. Get your tickets.
Hell, you guys are. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
Wait, when are you guys getting it?
October 21st.
Oh, that's so.
Oh god. Oh fuck.
So you're like 20 something days, and I'm like, hey, isn't that soon? I'm like,
Oh my god. I'm so.
no, it's
But
good.
hey-
It's good. You deserve to watch it first.
I'm gonna watch it like every weekend until you do, just so that we can get our like content schedules lined up, and then we can upload something.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I
Is
like
it a
that.
deal?
I like deal.
Nice, nice.
Cool. Oh
I
my
love
god.
the thing where I hold off until you watch it and then I watch it, but I'm sorry.
No, you have to. You can't wait.
Okay,
In this case,
okay,
I
good.
understand. Seriously.
Okay, we're good. We're on the same page.
We're on the
Okay,
same
nice.
page.
Okay, all right.
I think we all know it's going to be they've quoted, it's a quote unquote slow burner.
As with
Of
all
a film.
Villeneuve's movies,
Fair,
right?
exactly, true.
Yeah, I'm. It's like I'm all for that, and
Yeah.
I'm all for his style as well. Like prime examples would be Arrival and 2049. Both of those are extremely slow movies. I think
True.
2049 is a little more action packed, but Arrival was such a slow.
That's true.
It's like a thought piece. It's a think piece of a film, and
Oh,
which
I
is
love
interesting
that.
because. Oh my god, I might have said it wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Ted Chiang who wrote the original short story, The Story of Your Life, which
Yeah,
is based on,
yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the sandworms from the trailers
Oh, far out, yeah.
and from the posters. They
Far
look
out.
both spectacular and terrifying,
Yes.
which is like honestly all that I hope for.
yeah.
Like,
It's
I'm
perfect.
not mad about it at all. They look pretty fucking amazing. What do you think about them? Do you think they look
Oh
good?
no,
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
absolutely. And I like how they look old, like ancient. They have this present, you know.
Yes.
That's-
It's like they're like the rulers of Arrakis. They're,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
the oldest things there.
Yeah.
So if they can, I guess, get that across visually, that's going to be important. And
I
I
agree.
like that. I like that.
I
Yes,
agree.
yes.
You know, from the second trailer, I wasn't expecting that. You know, that cool fight sequence in the end with the sandworms.
I'm staying away from it. I have not seen the second trailer, or at least I once saw it in passing.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. You can talk about it. But
Okay.
that sequence, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh.
That strikes me as two possible places it could happen. Just based on where a fight on that scale does happen, was Paul in it?
Do you? Oh, you're asking me. You want me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Yes,
No,
he was.
You can answer.
He was.
In it, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So then it might be only one possible place that it could be. Okay, that's interesting that they
Yeah.
put not.
I'm sorry.
No, because then that means it gives me hope about. Okay, no, it doesn't give me hope. It just causes me to question once again where he might end this movie. Okay, no, that's
Right. So they have debunked where that bit comes from. Do you want me to tell you where it's set, or no? Do you want me to leave it?
okay. Yes, no, tell me please.
Okay. So they believe it's a vision of the jihad.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those happen quite a few times, if I'm not mistaken, in the book.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Respect, appreciate.
Cool.
Yeah, full trust in Villeneuve. We trust,
Yes. Him and his team for sure, definitely. Cool.
Absolutely.
Well,
Wait, did you say who the cinematographer for this was?
for Dune,
Yes.
yeah, it's the guy who's doing the cinematography for I believe the new Batman.
Oh
He-
God,
He's
I forget his
Australian.
name, but
He's Australian, I think. Let me look it up. I can't remember.
but that's a good thing, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I love the new look of the new Batman that's coming out.
Yeah, that looked pretty. Ooh, like dark and very, very younger Bat, and I think
Yes.
they're getting that across nicely.
True.
But yeah, sorry, I think we're tangenting. Is there anything
We
else
are.
about Dune, or shall we move on to the next thing that's on our
Let's
radar?
move on. Oh, it's Greg Fraser. Is it
Is
Greg
it what?
Fraser? You know
What
Greg
is it?
Fraser?
Oh, Greg Fraser. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
okay.
he's doing Batman. I can't remember. I think it's him. Yeah. I wanted to know what you thought about them inserting some comedic lines in the mix.
That's the interesting thing about the books. Looking back, like there are very little to no instances of comedy in the book. It's such a straightforward or very serious story about politics and power and save the planet or else it's gonna die. But I guess I don't know. That seems like a studio call, honestly. But then again, it all could just be context. Maybe it's Villeneuve trying to again do that, but maybe just build up or just show people a different side of the story. Because you gotta remember that he's also a really big fan of the source material, and I guess you can trust him enough. But I don't know. It seems weird, but I want to see where it's placed.
It does seem a little odd,
Mhm.
but I don't want to condone it. I want to see, I'm curious.
I like that. I like that
Just
approach.
just because Villeneuve's behind it, I want to trust him enough. Excited for just a little over a month for you. So
Don't you? Thank you for reminding me. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's so good. I'm so
I love
jealous.
you,
Seriously, I'm
but
so
I'm
jealous.
sorry.
It's fair. It's alright.
Is this what you wanted?
The latest addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's massive buzz around it right now. As of yesterday, I believe, it's considered the #1 movie in the world currently, and that is Shang-Chi.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Yes.
I have to be completely honest.
Yes, go
with
ahead.
who I was watching when I did go see the movie. I went to see it. What is it? A week ago. Yeah, it's
Yes.
Tuesday right now. So I
Yep.
went to see it last Wednesday when it got here, and I just want everyone to know, full disclosure, I was under a lot of medication and painkillers because I had tonsillitis, antibiotics. So when I went to see it, I was kind of slipping in and out of consciousness, but I did, manage to follow the movie quite well, and
Yeah.
I want to say that it was because of those action scenes that kind of knocked me back into it. And I thought it was amazing. A lot of things about it were great. I only have just very few gripes with it. If like the first one that comes to mind is the fact that we can talk about spoilers, right?
Oh yes, yeah.
By the end of it, maybe it's the fact that it was noticeable, but just the amount of CGI that they pumped.
I see.
It was
Okay.
it took me out of it a little.
Fair.
But I don't want that to be a takeaway from the fact that I actually liked where they went at the end. I think it took a lot of balls for Marvel to introduce a completely new world, because they were essentially doing what they did with what do you call it, Guardians of the Galaxy, right, where they were introducing a completely different aspect of Marvel and the comics and into the cinematic universe, right, where now they're essentially bringing to cinemas the fantastical and mythical realm of Marvel, and that the fact that it exists very heavily in the comics. And so I really, really admire Marvel that they had the balls to bring that aspect from the comics out to cinemas, and I really enjoyed that. And I wouldn't say they played it safe, but in terms of structure, I guess they kind of did. But like I said, execution, right? That's what really matters in terms of a movie like this, and I think they pulled it off, especially in some of the choreography and the cinematography. Obviously, it's got that trademark Marvel humor, but the biggest thing that hit me was the stunts and the choreography and the fight work. Like it echoed back to the only other Marvel property I could think of that had this good fights was probably Daredevil. It's also weird because that was another show that, I don't know, further on into its story, it sort of dived into the more mythological parts of the Marvel comics. So I'm glad that they're kind of, going that same route, but at least this may be sounding like a burden to anyone who likes Daredevil, including me, but at least now they're making it canon to the universe. I'm sorry.
I'm actually such a huge fan of Daredevil.
You
so-
are. In fact, you
Yeah,
dressed up
honestly.
as Daredevil for Halloween, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time. Keep going back to like two scenes. It was that first bus scene, which
Yes.
I was not expecting to be that good. After that, I realized that, holy shit, I'm gonna really enjoy this movie, am I? And then it was the scene in the, what do you call it? With the bamboo.
On the scaffolding.
The scaffolding.
Yeah,
Yes, the
yes,
scaffolding
I-
outside the building. Oh my god, that was when I was on the edge of my seat.
I was very hyped about it, obviously because of, this is a POC character. So of course, we love that representation,
Big steps from Marvel, yeah.
Absolutely. And I was very excited to see it, but I didn't know what to expect. And I went in thinking, you know what, I'm just going to go in. I won't go in with a critical eye. I'm just going to go in with an open mind, open heart, and just enjoy it. And I really did, like, from
Oh my
beginning
god,
to
I love
end.
it when that happens, right?
Yeah. I do think it does slow down in the middle because there's a lot of
yeah.
exposition. I don't know if you know this, but the stunt coordinators, they worked with Jackie Chan, I believe. Andy Cheng is one of them. They worked on Rush Hour, I think both Rush Hours. And
Oh my gosh.
the scene on the scaffolding,
Of course.
it reminded me of that scene, and I feel like this was kind of like an ode to that as well.
Why am I
And-
not surprised?
Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah. I love the fact that the first few minutes are just in, is it Mandarin? Yeah, it's Mandarin.
Right? Yeah.
I love
Oh my
that.
God.
Like throughout, they speak both English and Mandarin. I just feel like that was really grounding.
Absolutely. It felt very real. Like
Yes.
there wasn't any forced reason for them to speak English when
Exactly.
obviously their natural, their mother tongue would be that.
Obviously, I'm not going to like break down any cultural context because I don't have the experience to do so. It's not our culture, so I'm not gonna attempt to do that. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I felt really
It was
proud
good to see it
watching
showcased.
Yeah. Tony Leung, his character stood out to me. Out of everyone well, Michelle Yeoh too was amazing.
She's not in the movie enough. That's all. And like, oh, sorry, my phone fell away. And
okay.
just one other small gripe. I'm really upset that like Tony Leung's character, he actually dies at the end.
Me too. Why?
Like that's it. Like that's the thing with all the Marvel movies, right? They want to kill their villains.
Yeah, that's true. That's
God.
True. I have like such a bias towards him because you've seen In the Mood for Love, right?
Don't shoot me. I haven't.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Put it on your list. It's good.
I can feel you, the cinematographer, and you judging me right now. So it's
No, we're not. We're not.
List of movies that
Oh
I
my
need to watch.
God.
Make sure my friends don't judge me.
He's a very different sort of status of celebrity, or of like he's not even. I wouldn't even call him a celebrity. He's like an artist. You know, he's this like superstar, platinum, untouchable sort of figure in Hong Kong cinema. He's very compelling. Yeah, I don't know. I think he stood out to me more than Shang-Chi. I don't know if people are gonna get mad at that.
Yeah, some other characters did stand out to me a lot more. I really wanted to see the mother a lot more. Like,
That's really sad.
Oh my God, yeah. I was so captivated by her when she first came up on screen.
Yeah, no, their first fight, it was just absolutely stunning. It just dancing. That was beautiful choreography.
It was.
Made me think of all the like those OG Chinese classics.
Yeah, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes, I could see a lot of that just applied to this, and I thought I was very appreciative of that.
Apparently there was like a small like a mini film or a one shot. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called All Hail the King.
All Hail the King.
Yeah, have you seen it? Yeah.
I have not actually. But
Oh, okay.
It said that there was an actual there was an actual Mandarin, or the person behind the Ten Rings organization.
Yeah.
So because of the fact that Trevor was just a front. It just alluded to the fact that there was an actual head of this organization, and a lot of people did tell me that this was like prelude, or this is what you should be watching before you watch it, because it's sort of like a mini prequel. Like they call it a one shot, and I'm pretty sure it's online. You can watch it anywhere. But
I wish I had seen that All Hail the King beforehand. I only watched it.
Honestly.
I think after the second viewing, and then it made sense. I was like, oh, okay, so they did sort of retcon whatever was happening, and
it almost seemed like they had like I said, right? It almost seemed like they had to do that just because Marvel almost seemed like, just because of the reaction of the audience, they were like, oh shit, guys,
kind of doing like a Star Wars thing there.
Yeah.
Let's not talk
just
about
a little more gracefully.
Yes, exactly. This is obviously a debut, character debut. What has been your favorite Marvel character debut so far?
Are we talking scenes or films?
Films.
Okay. It'd have to be a toss-up between Homecoming or Ant-Man.
Oh, interesting. I like those.
I'm such a fan of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
The humor in that movie was so sleek and well done. It was fresh at the time for what Marvel was doing.
And I want to give a lot of praise for that to Edgar Wright, because this was his baby that he had been working on for so long. He loved the character, and he wanted to do a movie that didn't really do the thing where it had to acknowledge a lot of the other Marvel movies, and it had to tie in with them, that they all have to do. And I guess that was one of the reasons why he stepped down as the director and writer of the movie. I mean, I think he still gets writing credit. The stunning visuals, the story, the fact that it's about this guy who's trying to do better with his life. I thought that was one of my favorite introductions to a Marvel hero. And then I guess my second would be Homecoming, just because I'm such a Spider-Man fan, and for the fact that I think Homecoming merges a lot of the aspects of the Raimi Spider-Man films, the Amazing Spider-Man films, and kind of consolidates them into a single Peter Parker that is like a good Peter Parker and a good Spider-Man as well.
Probably, yeah. Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange are probably my top two favorite debuts. I think purely because of the scope. I really like big fantastical worlds, and I like exploring those things, and I just feel like and it's so interesting how these two films are somehow connected in a small way. The world building, I like the idea of infusing weapons with powers, and I feel like we still haven't seen what Doctor Strange can do. You know, I feel
Absolutely, yeah.
there's just so much to explore with him. And so is Shang-Chi because of the rings. I'm very curious to see where Marvel goes with, just to see what his capabilities are and what his powers are. Because you know that they give, eternal life and strength, but there's more to them, I believe, right? They actually give them, each ring has an individual power. Or
That's the thing. Like,
I think.
In the comics,
In the
they
comics,
come from they come from a mythos where, like, they were actually rings for your fingers in the comics.
Oh, I did not know that.
And each of those,
that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
10
so
rings.
you could draw a lot of comparisons to let's say the Infinity Gauntlet, right? With each stone giving the user a different power. I think they probably just wanted to avoid that with this one because in the comics, each of the rings would give the wearer 10 of them, right? For 10 fingers, they would give the wearer a different power.
Apart from that, like other little things, like the music was amazing.
Oh my god, yes, absolutely! I went ahead and just downloaded it on Spotify.
Nice.
88 Rising. Dan
88
actually
Rising.
like, right?
Yeah.
Like Dan months back, like years back, actually, he told me about these guys because he's such a big fan of Pink Guy and what's his name? He did that cool song, Slow Dancing in the Joji.
Joji, yeah.
Yes, they're like they're the guys who produce him, right, and his music.
Yes.
88 Rising.
Yes.
So I was as soon as I heard that they're gonna be the ones with this, I thought it was A, made complete fucking sense, and B, I was like, I have to download it.
They know their audience, and they know what their audience likes, and they're really smart for making these companion albums. I don't know. Oh, well, this one is an actual album for the movie, but like they also did with Black Panther and Spider-Verse, other stellar soundtracks as well.
So good. Oh my god.
And then getting these, picking the right people to compile all this music for them. So like you said, 88 Rising for Shang-Chi, Kendrick Lamar for Black Panther.
This felt like a really cool, like, impromptu podcast session, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you for that.
No, thank you for joining me and setting aside time to do this. Yeah.
No worries. It's absolutely my pleasure. Definitely down for whenever you want to do this again. So
Yes.
just let me know.
Definitely. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.